walking Britain's oldest road. Welcome to the Songline of the Ridgeway. Hello my friends, welcome back. So, a few weeks ago now, in the summer of 2024, me, my partner Tamsin and our dog Nero here walked along the Ridgeway, sometimes called Britain's oldest road. We gave ourselves 5 days to do it, and we wanted to finish on Summer Solstice in Avebury Stone Circle. In doing so, I believe we are following in the footsteps of our ancient ancestors that would have used the Ridgeway as a pilgrimage route, a procession route to this ancient temple complex, this ancient henge known as Avebury. And we know that people came from across the length and breadth of the island of Britain to get to this place for the summer and winter solstice. So I'm borrowing a concept from Aboriginal spirituality here, and we're going to walk along this ancient road that many people have walked for thousands of years, and we're going to speak the stories and myths and legends and also history back to the landscape. So it's sort of a bit of a walkabout. In the last episode, we walked from Goring in the River Thames. We got the train there, and then we walked along the Ridgeway to a place called Scutchamer Knob, where we will pick up from in this episode. So, I hope we make it to the Ridgeway for solstice. Join us for the ride, and hopefully we'll make it to our destination to praise the sun with all the other revellers. So Scutchamer Knob, very interesting place. It's supposedly the burial place of an Anglo-Saxon king, 8th century king, King Alfred. And later it was used as a Shire Moot. It's a kind of Anglo-Saxon gathering place, a parliament, a commoners' parliament, a thing, if you will, where aristocrats and commoners alike gather together and make their own laws and customs. Very democratic, the Anglo-Saxons. It was also the place where the great heathen army, the Danes, moved through along the Ridgeway on their way to conquer the kingdom of Wessex, but they were stopped by Alfred the Great. So in this episode, we are on the footsteps of King Alfred. What are you doing, babe? You're carving a spoon. There's a surprise. This stuff, Tiger Balm for aching muscles, is of the best. Look, it's compact, it's got a tiger on it, and there's a dog. Tam had strange dreams last night, didn't you, Tam?
Yes, I did.
Tam dreamt of gold and treasure, including a gold gulf.
And also crows.
And crows.
Big crows.
Perhaps it was the presence of the king's burial mound and buried treasure.
And crows should be on parole.
Right, and we are leaving the barrow of King Alfred. Thank you, your Madge. You ready, Nero? Me and Tam were just saying we've been through a bit of a psychological journey yesterday. It was hard. I didn't really record it because, you know, why would you? But we were thinking like, oh shit, should we get a bus for a bit of it? Our bodies were broken. But yeah, all part of the psychological journey of the Ridgeway. We feel on top of the world today, don't we?
Yay!
That man there, he's going to Goring. He's walking the wrong way. Oh, some horse riders coming on the Ridgeway. That town down there, I don't know if you can see it, but that, I believe, is Wantage, the birthplace of King Alfred the Great, first king of the Anglo-Saxons, first king of England. King Alfred was the third, the youngest of three brothers, and he was always a bit bookish. His older brothers were a bit more martial, a bit more warrior kings, but Alfred, you know, he liked to read and write, he was quite pious, and he was the king of the last kingdom of Wessex, when the Danes, the Vikings, had conquered East Anglia and Mercia and Northumbria, and they were moving south to conquer the rest, the last bit of England, Wessex. But Alfred waged a guerrilla campaign, fighting in the marshes, in the swamps, and the Anglo-Saxons finally were victorious against the Danes, and they split England in half between them. Yeah.
I'm going to have a pint of water,
Yeah.
a pint of Coca-Cola, full fat,
Yeah.
and a pint of cold lager.
Fuck. Yeah.
And maybe cider and icing. Maybe I'll have both.
According to legend and myth, just beyond this woodland, there's a fucking water tap. As long as some farmer hasn't removed it like all the other ones. No water for hippies. Is it a tap? Is it a tap? No. No. It's a bag of shit.
We've been singing
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely. Where are you guys from?
California and California.
Oh, lovely. You're enjoying walking the Ridgeway then?
Yes.
Good to hear it. You've got some very good sticks.
Yeah,
Good.
good.
We like our sticks.
Excellent. Well, enjoy. Yeah, happy walking.
Yeah, have a good one.
There you go. Wanderers from as far afield as Utah and California. The ancient songline of the Ridgeway still has its appeal. It's a running theme, this.
It's crap, isn't it?
Yeah, awful.
I've never seen such worse landscape.
Just a terrible, terrible trail. Ugh.
I'm joking, I love you this way. Sorry. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely.
Oh, yeah, mate. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
good boy.
nice. Ooh, on the other side, yeah. Ooh, that's lovely, mate. Good boy.
I'm not bloody drinking it, though. It's filthy, look at it.
Oh, it's so cute when he does that. Is that nice, buddy? They're calling you down a bit. Good boy.
That is the Wantage Monument up ahead.
No, it isn't.
Oh. Well, then the book lied to me. I'm glad we bought these. I thought I was going to look like a bit of a knob with these, but they're really useful. The Wantage Monument. My help cometh from the Lord, who hath made heaven and earth. Very religious man, King Alfred, apparently. So it looks like Wantage is down there somewhere, behind those trees. Down that pathway there, that's to Wantage, where there is a statue of King Alfred the Great. But that's off the Ridgeway, so we're not going there. In our darkest moment yesterday, we were thinking, should we just get a Wantage and get a bus further along the Ridgeway somewhere and then walk back up? But that's cheating. So there's a funny little story about King Alfred from the folklore. Once he was hiding out from the Danes, from the Vikings, in these woods, somewhere in these woods down here below this Ridgeway. And he was taken in for the night by a old woman in her humble little hut in the forest. because the Danes wouldn't look for him there. And she tasked the King Alfred, in disguise of course, to look after her cakes that were cooking by the fire in a little bread oven while she went out to forage. But Alfred wasn't much of a chef, and he let the cakes burn until they were black, and then the woman came back and scolded him when she didn't know that he was the future King of England. I like that story, and that those little burnt cakes are a name that we give to a fungus that grows on the ash tree. They're called King Alfred's cakes. They're very good tinder, so we might try and find some on this route somewhere if we find a dead ash tree to light our fire tonight. We're in a bit of a rush. The pub stops doing food at 2:30. The Greyhound in, what village is it?
Letcombe Regis.
There you have it, Letcombe Regis. Look at that tail.
It's so swishy. You swish my star. It's so muddy.
That is the road north to Wantage then.
Tell you what, nothing quickens your pace more than knowing there's a pub at the end of the walk.
Oh. Would have been genius if I got that on video. You just stacking it. Oh, grouse. A famous grouse. There's the road, look. Another one of these signs. How are we doing? Lord Wantage's Monument, that's where we've just been. Coming up to Segsbury Castle. That's where we dip down. That's where we're going. Feels weird crossing a road after being up on the high grounds of the Ridgeway with this bird song in your ears. Bloody loads of the things.
Encourage me and let me.
What are you looking at?
Just down that field,
Yeah.
there's like some dark patches.
There is a giant cock and balls down there.
Giant cock and balls.
I wonder what that tree clump is, if that's another burial mound or...
I think they call it a tumuli.
A tumuli, yeah. Tumuli. It's a little tummy on the landscape. Nero, sit. Hello, how do you do? Where are you walking to then?
Only to the monument, and then I'm going back to Wantage.
Oh, back to Wantage, is that where you're from?
I live locally.
Ah, nice, okay.
Oh, that's nice.
But,
It's a good walk.
I've done the whole of it several times.
Oh, have
last
you?
20 years, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Where have you come from?
We're actually from not far from Avebury, so we're walking there for Summer Solstice and
But
then
we
getting a
just-
lift back home.
We only started in Goring a couple of days ago, so we haven't actually come. We haven't come the full way.
It's halfway, isn't it?
Halfway,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll do the other half another time.
We're a bit stuck for time, so we had to sort of cut it a bit short. But hoping to get to Avebury for.
I met another couple in Letcombe Regis who said they were going
Oh right.
to the Summer Solstice.
We've met a few, yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
You can always
that's where
tell
we're-
because they've got the bags on.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was something unusual about it, because the bloke, he was, well, about 60ish, quite a
Oh,
bit
wow.
overweight,
Oh, right.
but he had painted nails blue. which
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
blimey, that's
All
very-
sorts of
that's very
strange thoughts
Avebury, isn't
descending
it?
on Avebury at this time of year.
Yes.
and his partner, if that's the right word, was as thin as he was plump.
Oh, right.
Apparently he was
Opposite.
stopping at various places en route to recite poetry.
Oh wow.
That sounds nice.
Yes,
That
Yeah,
does
that
sound
sounds
lovely.
takes all sorts. doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, we're actually off to Letcombe Regis for a pub lunch now, aren't we? So.
Are you?
We're going to the Greyhound. How is it?
Expensive.
Ah,
Oh.
good. All right. Well, we haven't
Okay.
spent much money over the last 2 days, so
Wantage is a better bet.
we were going to walk there, but we thought it was too far off the Ridgeway.
Well, at Letcombe there's a very big hill back up. It's called Cardiac Hill. But going down's all right, but you've got to come back up again.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, we'll because apparently there's a shop in Letcombe as
I
well.
thought
So
you could get to Letcombe Regis down.
I can tell it's starting to get a bit busier, this section of the Ridgeway. He said he met a couple of people that were reciting poetry along the Ridgeway, which seems a apt thing to do, speaking beauty back into the land. Funny thing about the Ridgeway, it just kind of puts good cheer on people. Beautiful views over there. This camera phone cannot do it justice. It's to the south. Oh, car coming. Big hole in the chalk. Now, if this is the Neolithic, I would say a large pig carcass would be deposited in there as a votive offering to the earth gods. But it's probably just a farmer digging a ditch in this instance, I expect, unless I've fallen back in time. So up here, before too long, should be Segsbury Castle.
So, yeah, it's kind of like a good life lesson, isn't it?
Were you just saying that to push yourself through difficult times is the only way to grow?
Yeah, it's good perseverance.
I think you've written a song about that, haven't you?
I have written a song about that. It's called Grow, funnily enough.
Available on Spotify. Look for Tams and Quinn.
That's what I do.
Oh, it's not on Spotify.
Available on Instagram.
Tam's being a tortoise again. It's an interesting old farm building, that. I like that. Do get a few scattered farm buildings on sections of the Ridgeway. Crows leading our way to a burial site within a causewayed enclosure, Segsbury Camp, otherwise known as Letcombe Castle. There they go. Thought and memory flying back to the shoulders of Woden to bear him news of our approach so he can whisper it to the dead. Not entirely sure of our path now. Bit of death. There we go. Back onto the Ridgeway. Crows again in that tree. Here we are, Segsbury Castle. Probably another burial mound there. It's like the crows know something. Tell me about the burger.
They do a caramelised red onion beef burger, Swiss cheese, mace spiced mushroom ketchup. Not sure how I feel about mace.
I don't care, I'm having it.
Spring onions, green chips.
I have a feeling that she's hungry.
Is that lovely, doggo? Nice.
So, right turn. to Segsbury Castle. Yeah. Segsbury. I think this is it. This unassuming feature in the landscape is Segsbury Castle, an Iron Age hill fort. No, wait, an Iron Age hill fort. No, it's just some sort of escarpment. Yeah, this is it. This is the edge. This is the wall. This is the ditch and wall of the hill fort. You can see this rampart, ditch, and another rampart. Once upon a time, possibly having some form of palisade wall. As I say, it's probably not originally defensive. So this trackway is actually going directly through this hill fort. There's some sheep there grazing in the western half of it, and that hedgerow over there is on a bank of the circular hill fort. This is the other half of it, and it's got 4 gates on it, so it was actually built to, I guess, control the Ridgeway. So, an Iron Age hill fort. We're at the north side of it now, just outside the walls, the ramparts that you can see behind me. So this is about 2,500 years old, so a Iron Age construction built by the Celtic Britons. I put hill fort in air quotes earlier because this probably wasn't a defensive or primarily a defensive function, and there's no evidence of continuous habitation. This was probably a gathering point, a meeting place, a place maybe to overwinter livestock, to trade livestock, perhaps a occasional defensive function at times of war, and perhaps also a ceremonial function. But it definitely does control the much older Ridgeway. There are 2 gate points here, so perhaps a toll or controlling trade and the movement of people in the Iron Age as well. This was also occupied in the Roman era. They probably used it for a similar thing to control the passage of people as the occupiers. It was also used in the Anglo-Saxon period as well. There's a cist or grave burial, individual grave burial, where we came in at the southern end, containing probably the remains of a local chieftain. There was a sword and shield there. So really interesting, continual, evolving use of this, repurposing of this monument. And it's quite young, you know, it's only 2,500 years old. There are much older monuments along this route. So we don't want the pub to close, so let's get going. Oi! Down the hill into the village, where a pint awaits and a burger.
And then an extra side of chunky chips and a side salad if you could do one, that'd be great. Lovely, thank you so much. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. As long as I just don't want to miss absolutely.
I see what that old geezer was saying there. This would be a bit of a killer of a hill to climb back up. We're going to find a detour on our way back up. We're going to find the Blowing Stone Inn, which is near the Blowing Stone, which is a sarsen stone with a bit of folklore attached to it. Clearly returning to civilization here. Marlborough Farm. Nope, Warborough Farm. It's a proper traditional farm, that is. The Iron Age peoples of Britain, well known for their herding of llamas and alpacas. Come on. What the fuck is that, mate? It's just like a sheep, but it's got a long neck. You weirdo. This is like our place. Car graveyard. Buried treasure in there. Probably guarded by a dragon.
That is so cool. Love that.
That's an American thing, isn't
It's
it?
awesome, isn't it?
To the left.
Left and then right.
Someone mending a thatch up there. I envy your job, that must be lovely. She said, most of the time it's a lovely job. When the sun is shining. Fix your thatched roof while the sun is shining, as they say. I'd love to learn a traditional skill like that. I've got envy of Tamsin with her spoons. Wantage is a bit wonky. There is a general election coming up as of the time of recording. 2024, June. Looks like the Conservatives are going to face a wipeout and Labour's going to get in. If this video is still live in 10 years' time, let's see how that goes. Here we go. Pub. Boy, mate.
Happy tortoise.
Yeah, happy snail.
I'm a very happy snail.
You know, I think snails die if you put them in beer.
Your drink, sir.
Oh God, look at that! It's treasure. It's Anglo-Saxon gold.
Big golden treasure.
Oh
So happy.
yes, cheers, babe.
Cheers. Mm. Oh my god, so good. Woo.
That's the best sip of beer that anyone has ever tasted.
I agree.
Ah, that's so good. Ah, isn't that good, Nero?
The best feeling ever. It's like a 4-hour walk and we've done 2 hours of it. So.
We've got 2 more hours to go then.
Yeah.
Well, that'll take us up to Whitehorse Hill.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we could even get further than that. I think we stay here till like 5.
We might be able to get to Wayland Smithy tonight, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Amazing.
Let's stay here till like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and walk when it's a bit cooler.
Yeah, walk when it's cooler.
And we'll be a bit pissed. Are you happy, babe? Fluids. There is a happy Tamsin. Look, this is the poshest burger ever. Look, it's got goat's cheese and tzatziki in it. Brioche bun. Fries, not chips. It's amazing. This is such a nice little pit stop in our journey. We're going to stay here for a couple of hours.
Perfect. Paradise. Quiet garden. Sleeping doggo. I think it's still awake.
The shop in my village is not like this. I've never seen a thatched village shop before.
Would you like a receipt?
So we've taken a bit of a detour to the town of something Regis. Limpton Regis, it's quite posh. Lindcombe Regis, it doesn't matter what it's called. And we're going to another village along the base of the Ridgeway where there is the Blowing Stone, which is quite fun. And we're actually going to get a lift. A barmaid at the pub is going to put us in the back of her sheep van. So it's cheating a bit, but we're just going to cut a little bit of time off because it's not on the Ridgeway. So we're just going to nip along to the next village and then head back up. Don't know why I told you that, you don't give a shit. This is Rosie. Rosie has very kindly given us a ride in her sheep wagon. Amazingly as well. Stop it, mate. Rosie's got a sheep farm on the, what's it called? Segsbury Castle? Segsbury Camp, where we've just been. This is the pub we were going to go to, the Blowing Stone.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Oh, those 2 points have gone to my head. And let's see if we see a cottage with a big sarsen stone in the garden. Another lovely thatched cottage there. Back onto the Ridgeway.
I love that she wasn't scared of like giving hassle in there. So when I first met her, I was thinking, oh, maybe she's like.
It's interesting this church is called St John the Baptist because Summer Solstice is the feast day of St John the Baptist. It's another omen. It is Oxfordshire, I suppose. Back up to the Ridgeway. Version of a snail on a lettuce leaf. No, it wasn't like that, it was smiling. God, looking for a massive sarsen stone in a cottage garden is like looking for a needle in a bloody haystack.
Over there.
Snails can't talk.
I can.
Yeah, it's up here and to the left.
Oh, I think so.
There's no stone in there. Here it is. The blowing stone. Feed the gods with their shiny gold food. According to legend, the blowing stone is a very special sacred stone. Only a few chosen ones can actually get a sound out of it. It was supposedly blown by King Alfred and made a great sound like a trumpet, and it alerted all the Anglo-Saxons to come and prepare for battle with the Danes. So this is the blowing stone, which sounds a bit lewd, I know, but this is a sarsen stone with many, many holes in it. And according to legend, if you blow in one of these holes hard enough, it will make a trumpet sound that can be heard all the way up on White Horse Hill. And according to some legends, only the worthy can make a sound out of it. And if it does make a sound, King Alfred himself will burst out of that hill with a retinue of warriors and fight off any invading Danes that have landed on these shores. So, let's give it a go. Not that one. And others say it summons the dragon energy that is imbued in the hillside. Hang on, let's give it one more go. Maybe this one.
Others say they just make you do it so you look like a bit of a twat.
Right, well, I'm glad we made this detour because I've never seen this sarsen stone before. So now we'll go up to White Horse Hill and see if a band of Iron Age or early medieval warriors are waiting for us after I've blown this stone. According to legend, if Britain is ever under threat again by Vikings or Nazis or the French or the Russians, if we just blow on that blowing stone and make a sound like a trumpet, then White Horse Hill will open and the true and future King of England will emerge with all his warriors and fight off the threat, whether it is King Alfred or King Arthur himself, because Dragon Hill is also said to be a place, according to myth, a possible location of Mount Badon, where King Arthur beat the Anglo-Saxons. So an interesting passage back through myth and history here. We've got King Alfred, an Anglo-Saxon, defeating the Danes, and further back, beyond history into legend, we have King Arthur, a Briton, fighting off the Anglo-Saxons. So waves of invaders, waves of new kings, new national heroes with every wave of migrants. So, my friends, that was episode 2 of the Songline of the Ridgeway. We're moving on to Wayland's Smithy now, going further along the Ridgeway on our destination to Avebury Henge for the Summer Solstice. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you next time for the Songline of the Ridgeway.